Welcome to Gulfstream today. Ron Nicoletti along with Katie STASZAK, and what an exciting weekend we have ahead, especially if you're a fan of the Rainbow Six. Today starts race number 5. There's a $500,000 guarantee, and with a 10-race card, that's races 5 through 10, and as I mentioned, there's a $500,000 guaranteed pool today. But if it is not hit today with that one single unique ticket, tomorrow there is mandatory payouts in the Rainbow Six, the Pick 5, and Super High 5. And if it's not hit today, I'm guarantee you there could be a couple of $1 million in that Rainbow Six pool tomorrow, Katie.
I'd be willing to wager a Rainbow Six bet that that's going to be the case. Those numbers get pretty high when there's a mandatory payout, because with a Rainbow Six, when there's a mandatory payout, you do not have to be the only person holding that winning ticket, so there's lots of money up for grabs, and sometimes there's a lot of sharing.
A lot of sharing, and it's all in the pool and everything like that, so it's a great wager, and people jump in all around the country. So that's happening all week long. But if they don't nail it today, remember tomorrow, there will be that mandatory payout in the Rainbow Six. We're going to take a look at Saturday's card now, and our first race today, 7.5 furlongs on the turf, claim is fillies and mares, non-winners of 2 races in life, or 3-year-olds, $12,500. Scratch the 8, Bella Forever. Also note the jockey on the 11 who's going to get in and run today is Jonathan Gonzales. And as you see on the screen, we got a fast main track, firm turf course, and we both have the number 7, Fever Las Vegas, on top of our ticket.
Looks like we have different horses in second and third. Lots of way to go, but we're in complete agreement with the top horse in here. That is Fever Las Vegas. This is a daughter of the Wildcat. Going to cut her tag by more than half today, which is probably the reason it was for me why I gave her a class edge here. She faded in the stretch to finish 7th last time out against $30,000 claimers. Before that, she ran in a $50,000 optional claimer, so she's faced much tougher. The other key is that she's cutting back to 7.5 furlongs for the first time since she broke her maiden. Well spotted today to return to the win column.
Yeah, and ridden today by our leading jockey, Tyler Gaffleone, just adds to the appeal. The horse that I used in second, Katie, was the 6 Stack the Crown, who's cutting back to the distance where she broke her maiden after making a 5-wide bid last time out. Got beat 4 1/4 lengths against this caliber competition, going a mile in the 16th. I think the cut back in distance going to help the number 6 Stack the Crown in there on the board at a really nice price of 12 to 1.
That is a nice price. The 5 Starship OEM that I have in second is also at 10 to 1, so you can layer your ticket there with some value on the bottom. This is a 6-year-old mare, rallied 3 wide to get up for third at a pretty big price against $16,000 claimers. That was on June 4th. She's hit the board in each of her last 3 starts at a mile, and again taking a slight class drop, so she might have a little bit of an edge there. You also used June Flower. Tell me about that one.
Well, keeping with that class relief angle we're using in this race, this one is definitely getting some class relief, stretching out today around 2 turns after winning 2 of 4 recent turf races against tougher, going 5/8 of a mile, stretching out to 7.5 furlongs. That's around 2 turns here, but I just think this horse's previous form at 5/8 of a mile might make this horse a viable option here in the first race at the 7.5 furlong distance.
Lloyd Harbor could be another viable option in this race if she can continue to move forward after finally breaking through after 22 starts to break her maiden. She did it impressively last time out, took the lead, never looked back, won by 2 1/4 lengths on May 17th. Even though it took so long to break her maiden, she's hit the board 11 times. Maybe now that she's figured out how to win, she can keep it up.
Yeah, so the first race, we're in agreement with the top selection. Then we get a little different in our ways of thinking. Let's go to race number 2 today. 1 mile claimers, 3 and up, non-winners of 2 races in life for 3-year-olds, $6,250. 1 scratch in the second race of number 3, Massive. And we both have the 1 Zoom box on our ticket. And Katie wants to go back and show you this horse's performance back on June 5th.
Well, Zoombox had a bit of trouble last time out. Looked like he had things going his way. He took the lead into the stretch, but he's going to get some trouble as the horses start to pick up ground behind him. And he kind of gets a little leg weary and starts to drift a bit, and that's going to become a problem when he bumps here, and he kind of gets thrown off his hind end. He has to switch leads, and you see he ends up finishing ahead of the horse that interfered with him, but by drifting out and getting bumped there, the horse on the inside is allowed to get through and get the win. So a little bit unlucky there. If he can have a better trip today, he's taken another small class drop. think he's the horse to beat.
And he'll be on the inside post today, so we'll see what happens if he gets that kind of nice trip along the inside. He looks like the drop to the $6,250 level is another positive mood for that son of Concerto. We both have the 8 and 2nd Manny Blue Boys making the 3rd start of his current form cycle after responding last time out to some added distance by finishing a rallying 3rd at this one-turn mile.
Yeah, he's finished 3rd in each of his last 2 starts at this level. Since returning from a 2-month freshening at the end of May, Luis Figueroa is going to keep them out. He's been consistent. We'll see what he can do in here.
Well, who'd you put in 3rd? You have the number 5 horse in here, and that's JC Universal.
Not the most consistent horse, but he's never too far off from hitting the board. He was 4th behind Manny Blue Boy last time out and 3rd 2 back, so I threw him in. Who else did you use?
I used the 7 Sniffer. I just found this intriguing. This one was the exception rather than the norm last time out when he responded to the removal of the Lasix with a really nice maiden win, about 5.5 lengths against 10,000 types going a mile. So I just thought this horse, maybe they found out, he hadn't run well before that. They took the Lasix off last time out, and he ran pretty well. So number 7, Sniffer on my ticket today, but I think Zoombox is the way you want to go, and that kicks off the first of 2 pick 4s on the afternoon. That one races 2, 3, 4, and 5, as always, a 50-cent wager. Race number 3 today. We're back on the grass. The turf course is listed as firm. This is a 5-furlong sprint, maiden special weight, 3-year-olds and upward. And we have 8 runners that are going to go to the post. And we want to go back and show you. We both have the one, Better Run Real Fast on top of our ticket. I like this one today, too.
I do, and you know what? He had a bit of the same problem in this race as Zoombox did last time out. He's going to drift out in the stretch as well and get bumped, and the margin of which he loses is going to be even closer than you saw with Zoombox. Yep. He takes a pretty good hit there as the 2 kind of makes a quick move and comes in on him, and then he's just going to miss by a neck. It's pretty close here. That's a tough beat. I think he's really well spotted today, and last time out, unquestionably, the best race of his career. He can build off of that. It's going to be a winner. Yeah, trained by Kathleen O'Connell, ridden today by Eduardo Nunez. Again, a horse going to move to the inside post in there. So it looks like we found a theme here today. We both have the 6 Euro Exchange in second. Going to wear blinkers this afternoon. Took the overland route last time out when making a 5-wide bid to finish 3rd. That was behind Better Run Real Fast last out. Cam Gambolani, very limited sampling. He's 1 for 3 with first-time blinkers. So this horse behind Better Run Real Fast last time out, getting the shades, may be able to reverse the previous outcome. He really hasn't run a bad race. He's hit the board in all of his starts on both turf and dirt. He definitely figures in here. We'll see if the equipment change can give him a leg up.
Well, you went with number 8 in 3rd, and that is Novak.
This one's from the Ralph Nix barn. That's what I kind of like, taking the trainer angle here. He's going to return to the turf in his first start since January, so he's had a bit of time off. He's also going to get pack to 5 furlongs for the first time since he finished 2nd in his career debut last October. The horse that won that race was Bluegrass Singer, who's now a multiple stakes winner and set to run in the Grade 3 carry back here next weekend.
Well, that's some pretty good company in here. I went with the 2 Matty Bird, who comes out of the same race as Better Run Real Fast and Euro Exchange. This one making the 3rd start back from its layoff after making that late move last time out to finish 5th behind the top 2. So I just thought maybe the 3rd off the bench, this horse can show more. But I'm sort of in agreement with our top 2 selections in here. I think that might be the right way to go, and that is in race number 3 this afternoon. We're going to go to the 4th race, and the 4th race today is a 6-furlong sprint. It's an allowance optional claimer, 3-year-olds and upward. We have no scratches or jockey changes to report, and we want to go back and show you a horse that we both have on top of our ticket, and my best bet this afternoon, and that is the 3, Sarlef.
He was so impressive last time out, made more impressive by how well the horses that finished behind him came back to do in their next starts. Sarlef was making his first start in over a year, was running with a pretty highly regarded debut runner and son of a Derby winner from the Ralph Nix barn, and he's going to duel with that horse and then draw off a little bit late. And I thought that was a pretty impressive win. He's going to look for back-to-back wins now. Should be better second start off the layoff, too. Yeah, and you mentioned the son of a Derby winner. He comes back in his next start and wins by 8 3/4 lengths.
But we're not done. The horse that finishes third in that race, More Applause, comes back and breaks his maiden by 14.5 lengths. So everybody that ran behind this horse came back not only to win, but to win impressively. So the old key race angle, the trainer is Gustavo Delgado, and he's got Tyler Gaffleone atop this $95,000 son of Flatter in second. We have the number 8, Hear That Tune.
We've got another exacta. We're on a roll here, Ron. We'll see if this one can hold up. He's from the Stanley Gold Barn, and he's cutting back to 6 furlongs today. I think that's really going to help him. Took the lead and just got beat a half length last time out at 7 furlongs. 2 starts back at this distance. He finished a pretty strong second to a colt named Requite, very highly regarded from the George Weaver barn, who would come back to win a stake in his next start.
Yeah, and his buyer figures, his speed figures are right up there. I mean, he posted the best last race buyer figure in there, 84, when you mentioned getting beaten 3/4 of a length at 7/8 of a mile. So he certainly fits with this level of competition. You know, Sora off the key race angle, but there's a couple of nice horses in this race, and one of them being the 8, Hear That Tune. In third, I remember this horse from last year, and that is the one horse, Nicanelli, making his first start since that 2-race freshman campaign, as I mentioned last year. He comes back, he gets beaten ahead by a future stakes race performer called Of Course, then follows that with a head-swirling maiden victory. Just comes out, hasn't been seen, Kathleen O'Connell, and I remember last year they were talking about this horse, Nicanelli, that it might be a real good thing, and they're coming back, but it is coming off a long layoff.
Nicoletti's got Nicolelli in the 4th race. That is a bet that you have to play.
Well, I sort of looked a little harder at this horse because of that.
I think also, just to note, Your Dreams Are Mine, he's also cutting back, and I think that's going to help him. This is another colt from the Bill Kaplan barn that has a lot of speed. He's never finished off the board at this distance.
Well, let's go to race number 5 today, and this one's 5 furlongs on the turf. Maiden special weight 2-year-olds. We got 2 really nice 2-year-old races this afternoon, and this one is the first leg of the Rainbow Six, and we do have one note that we want to mention here. There was a typo error in here on the number 4 horse. Should not be 15-1 on the morning line, should be 5-1, so mark that down. That is the number 4 horse in here, and that is a Cajun Shills. So we'll see how this race plays out. We both went with the 3 Chesson, a filly, against the boys, but from a barn that does it all the time.
The top 2 selections that we have are both fillies against the boys today from the Wesley Ward barn. I didn't bat an eye at that. Chesson, she's a daughter of Bring the Heat, going to make her turf debut after finishing 4th and her first start on the main track back on May 6th. What I like is that Ward had this filly training on the turf course up at Palm Meadows, and she turned in 3 straight bullets since her last start. She should be primed for the second.
Yeah, I mean, she looks like the one to beat. And the other horse we were alluding to from the Wesley Ward barn, an uncoupled entry, is the 8 Adopt a Kitten, another from Wesley Ward, as I just mentioned, daughter of Kitten's Joy. So right there, you know, Brett to love the turf this afternoon, makes her career debut. She shows a series of sharp morning workouts. She starts her campaign, Lasix, Edgar Zayas, fillies against the boys, but it's Wesley Ward.
I would not be surprised at all if the first-time starter won this race and the filly. She's bred for it. And Wesley Ward, he comes out guns a-blazing.
Yeah, and Kitten's Joy, you know the success of that horse on the turf. But let me tell you about the horse I have in third that I'm really intrigued about, and this one is Pear Ty, who's, I just thought this is a son of Drosselmeyer debuting on the grass. So it looks like he had some grass breeding, had some trouble in his last race at the start. He was taken up. He finished 4th, 4.5 furlong debut. That was on the dirt. Enrique Sanchez is the trainer, but he's got Edgar Prado in this horse. And I'm just thinking this horse sitting there in post 6, if things get dicey on the front end and everybody goes to leads, which you see a lot of times in these 5 furlong turf races, that this horse can close and maybe grab a share or win it as an upset with Edgar Prado in the saddle.
And he's going to have a smart Hall of Fame rider in the irons that's definitely going to give him the best chance to win.
Who else did you use on your ticket?
I'm very disappointed that the 4 Cajun Shill is no longer 15-1 because I thought that was a fantastic value. This one from the Bill Kaplan barn is also bred for the turf. He's a son of Artie Schiller. He's going to try the grass today in his second start, finished 3rd in his career debut, and he was well behind a dominant winner that day in the Stanley Gold trained Awesome Banner. but everybody was in that race. I thought he was still very respectable.
Well, let's go to race number 6 today. 5 furlongs, maiden special weight. Here's the 2-year-olds again. So the first 2 legs of the Rainbow Six with the $500,000 jackpot guarantee are 2-year-old races. This one has a couple of scratches. Scratch the 7, scratch the 11. A little bit of rain coming down right now. We'll keep you updated on everything that's happening here this afternoon. We both went with the number 6 high-end queen.
We've got another exacta going here, Ron. Looks like we'll be going too deep in the early legs of the Rainbow Six. This is a daughter of High Cotton, going to make her second career start after finishing second as the favorite in her career debut on June 4th. Trainer Herman Walensky just won another 2-year-old race last week, and I thought this one should just appreciate the tiny bit of extra distance she's going to get today, and she also has the experience edge.
Yeah, I mean, that's why I put her over there. I was really tempted to put the 10. Platinum Band at the top of my ticket, but then it has that outside post, and, you know, the other one has the experience. The daughter, I'm talking about Platinum Band. It's the daughter of Austin McCall, of course, a half-sister to a Grade 2 stakes place horse called CZ. Stanley Gold has just been on fire throughout the meet with his 2-year-old runners. He's 34% with his first-time starters. But the concern I had was that post. I don't know how much it's going to matter, but that's why I'm flip-flop, and I'm using both on my ticket.
Absolutely. My concern was just that the high-end queen had the experience edge, but Stanley Gold, he's had a bunch of 2-year-olds that have had to break from the inside post, which is not an ideal post either. And every time I've talked to Stanley, I was a little concerned with the post, but they've outrun it, so she could very well do it again today.
Well, the horse I put in third was the 3 Tizaltas, the daughter of High Cotton, debuting for Larry Pilati. Been watching him all season long. Series of solid workouts showing Pilati 25% with his freshman runners. Had a couple of nice 2-year-old winners at the meet. Hall of Fame jockey Edgar Prado in the saddle, sitting up there at 12-1.
That's a great value. I went back and forth between that one and the 9 Mama Joyce to put in third on the ticket. I ended up giving the slight edge to this one from the David Fox barn. She's a daughter of young Florida sire First Dude, who was just represented by his first winner a couple weeks ago. She's a Donald Disney homebred. I like that she has a 5 furlong breeze, so she should be fit for this.
Well, let's go right to race number 7. 7.5 furlongs on the turf. Claimers, fillies and mares, 3 and up. Non-winners of 2 races in life for 3-year-olds. $12,500, and not the case here. This is a wide open affair in my estimation. The jockey on the 5 is Jonathan Gonzales. Scratch both the 11 and 12 horses. They come out just before we came on the air. As I mentioned, a little bit of rain coming down right now. I went with the number 4 horse in here, I.O. Inez. This one now in the Dave Brady barn. It's a daughter of English Channel. Really drops to the $12,500 level after facing tougher on the Tampa turf. Before that 3-month layoff, new connections to have Edgar Zayas to handle. I just think this is an intriguing possibility. I like the connections. Dave Brady's barn has been doing fantastic. Edgar Zayas, do we need to say anything about how well he rides? So I just thought this horse, a little bit of a price, might be the logical horse in this 7th race.
If you can get 5-1 going into the gate, bet it.
Right.
Absolutely. I ended up giving the edge to the 8 Richie's Red Hot Honey, who you have in third, also used. This is a daughter of Malibu Moon. Gonna look for back-to-back wins today after breaking her maiden over this turf course on May 25th. Was her second start back from a 10-month layoff, so she's getting fit again, rounding back into form. And I just think she finds a great spot to face winners for the first time, and looks like she could be the lone speed. The only question is, can she carry that speed a couple extra panels? And you know, the number 1, Princess Romana, who we both have on our ticket, is dropping just a notch on the competition scale. Rallied 5 wide to finish 4th against $16,000 optional claimers. Her second place finish at this level and distance was back on May 16th. Points her out as a major player in this spot. Absolutely. I also threw in the 7, Dicayagua. Not much else to say except making her first start off the claim today for trainer Peter Walder. 31% right now going in that category. Well,
let's go to the 8th race this afternoon. 1 mile maiden claim is 3-year-olds up, and then we just got a word that the main track has been sealed. As I mentioned, we got some rain coming down now, but the track has been sealed, so it should not affect it right now with that track being sealed. We have a jockey on the 5, Miguel Vasquez. I went with the 6 horse in here, that so did you. That Starship Rocky, and it looks like the logical one here, son of Wildcat Air.
Absolutely. Returned from a 2-month freshening to finish 3rd at this level on June 6th. Rallied from 5 wide to get up for the show. Should appreciate the extra distance. and be sharper second start back.
Well, we got our exact try this time. We went beyond the exact. We used the 3 all over it in second. A son of insummation, making his career debut for Peter Walder. Lasix leading jock Tyler Gaffleone. And we also used the number 10, Wild and Wild.
Was a solid second at this level and distance last time out, despite having to steady at the 3/8 pole, so with a cleaner trip, who knows?
Let's go to race number 9, 7.5 furlongs on the turf, allowance optional claim at 3-year-olds and up, $25,000. Scratch the 2 horse in here and the number 7, who is my long shot today. And we're going to go back and show you performance of a horse I have in second, and you got right on top, and that's Rock That Bird.
Taking a little bit of a chance with a horse that isn't quite as experienced, but wow, did he impress me in his career debut. He ran off to a 3 1/4 length victory first time out. He was in control throughout and was just so dominant. I was so impressed by this. Has so much potential. I guess that's why I gave him the edge here. We don't know what we can see from him. Gustavo Delgado, why not?
And he's a $150,000 son of Birdstone, so he's bred to be really nice, and that was a great performance in there. I did go with the 3, Racetrack Romance, going to try and make it 2 in a row. After shipping in from Tampa to defeat this caliber competition, going a mile into 16, Marcial Navarro, about 30% winning consecutive races. Rock That Bird for all the reasons you mentioned in there. And we go a little differently in third. You went with the number 4 horse in here, Lost Camper. And this horse, I never pick it, and it always beats me.
He's run so well. He scored a really gutsy win last time out over 2 other starters in this race, Proper Empire and Whisper on the Wind. 3 for 4 with a second here over the Gulfstream Park turf course and a 9-time winner at the distance. You really can't knock him, but I think he hasn't competed against the likes of some of the others.
Exactly. I went with another consistent horse in third. Whisper on the Wind is a consistent son of Flower Alley. Breaking from the rail, Dave Casson, after hitting the board in 6 of 7 turf races against this familiar competition. 7 races, only 1 win, but 3 seconds and 2/3. I think you got to have him somewhere on your ticket. He's that consistent, and he doesn't seem to run a bad race. We're going to wrap up the Saturday card with a 1-mile claiming event. Fillies and Mares, 3-year-olds and up, non-winners of 3 races in life, or race since December 27th. Once again, the main track has been sealed. Jockey, scratch the 2, scratch the 7, and the corrected jockey's name on the number 6 horses, Pedro Monterrey. So I went with the 3, Dakota Eyes, and so did you.
She's finished second in each of her last 2 starts, only beaten a half length last time out for trainer Tamara Levy, and turning a bullet blowout to tune up for this. Should be sharp. I actually like the 13 Bullheaded Lady more, but I hate that post.
Yeah, and she's the morning line favorite, and I agree exactly. I wanted to put it on top, but I just couldn't, and actually wrote my analysis. Going to brace from that demanding outside post. You know, really on paper looks like the one to beat. So if this one can carve out a nice trip and save some ground, absolutely have to use the 3, Dakota Eyes, and the 13 Bullheaded Lady. We both have the number 11, Ill Considered.
Well, she's been third in each of her last 2 starts at this level and distance. Finished just ahead behind Dakota Eyes last time out, so if you like Dakota Eyes, we do. Put it on the ticket.
Yeah, and you know, we have the super high 5 in the last race, and I think this 11 horse he'll consider as one of those horses is a must-use, and if you don't know what the super high 5 is, pick the first 5 finishes in the race. So this is one of the horses that has to be on your ticket. So we have $500,000 guarantee in the Rainbow, I'm thinking super high 5 in the Rainbow 6, which starts in race number 5. I'm so excited about the $500,000. You know, we're going to turn it over a couple minutes to our track announcer, Pete Aiello, and he's going to update you on all the conditions and things that are going on here. Should be a fun day.
It should be a fun day with $500,000 up for grabs. And if that isn't hit today, we'll have a mandatory payout with even bigger numbers tomorrow. Lots to look forward to.
Yeah, there'll be a couple of million in it tomorrow. But we got to get through today first. So good luck, everybody.